Welcome back. Of course, the war in West Asia is spiraling fast, and we have been talking about what the goals of, U.S. and Israel has been. And we have been talking to Dr. Avner Cohen, professor of non-proliferation and terrorism studies, Middlebury Institute, and he joined us from Monterey, California. Thank you so much for staying with us, Professor Cohen. Now, we were talking about regime change, right? And you mentioned how that could be a goal. But let's talk about what Trump has been saying. First, he said that he has three names that he wants who will lead Iran, and now just very recently, he said that whoever he wanted to lead are dead. So what's the plan? We want regime change and just leave for the people to choose itself? Or what is his plan after that? It seems like it's not going to be any different from maybe Iraq or Libya.
I think that one avenue is to have something like what happened in Venezuela, to remove the leaders and to have leaders from the previous regime that would be friendly with the United States, like the way it happened in Venezuela. Is it possible? It's not that clear at all. Apparently, the President Trump did not support the candidacy of the Prince Pahlavi, the son of the Shah. He said today things which kind of dismiss the capability of bringing somebody from the outside. He said he's a nice guy, but he's not the right man. He doesn't have enough internal support. I think the idea is to create, and we do not know with whom the United States and the Mossad, the CIA and the Mossad, what they're trying to do. And I'm sure that they're doing things right now. But the idea is to create a condition to weaken the regime enough in a sufficient manner that others will be able to uprise and to topple the regime. It's a certain kind of gamble. You need to continue to put pressure on the regime. And that's why Israel essentially, in a systematic way, attacks regime targets one by one. Most central regime target, I already mentioned that before.
Right. Also, let's also shift our focus to how Western countries have been behaving. So we have Macron, who had on Monday had clarified and said that this there's a chance that this could spill into Europe, and now we know that France will be sending its Charles de Gaulle warship to the Mediterranean so as to help with the conflict situation. We do not know if they will be participating. On the other hand, we have Spain, who has rejected, and Trump has retaliated, the same as UK. Trump has called on UK. At this point of time, when we look at the allies of U.S. in the West, how do you analyze them behaving at this point of time?
With caution, but I see a movement. I think in the beginning, the first 2 days of the war, the very much was outstandish. France, Germany, the UK, other European countries were standing outside without saying much. I think given the fact that the UK bases in Cyprus were hit, the fact that many friends in the Gulf, Arab friends, are being hit, the fact that they realized that Iran was trying to hit so much to unleash fire within the Gulf and to possibly to try to close the Straits of Hormuz, to have impact on the movement of oil and gas. I think the European, Spain pulling, it's a special kind of government, so I put it aside. But I think the Europeans are moving more openly. For example, today, the German Chancellor, Mr. Marz, he was in the White House, and he gave nice statements supporting the president. So is President Macron, and so is Prime Minister Stemmer. So I think they are moving cautiously more to the side of the U.S., even though I don't see them as of now, taking part of the war itself. The more defensive way to support the war efforts of the United States, Israel, and possibly others, including, for example, Qatar, and we'll see what will happen with Saudi Arabia.
Right, and when we talk about oil, that is something, of course, West had been looking for because the oil prices and gas prices have gone up in a couple of course, in this day after the markets open. But no, and for a solution, President Trump has come out with saying the U.S. Navy will be escorting tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, and this is if necessary, but at a very reasonable price. Political risk insurance and guarantees for the financial security of all maritime trade. Do you think the companies will be willing to pay a price carrying their ships in such a situation?
It very much depends what will happen with the Strait of Hormuz. My understanding, and there is some unclarity about it, my understanding is that there are hundreds of tankers around the straits, outside and inside, waiting to move. They have not moved. My also understanding is that the U.S. systematically destroyed many elements of the Iranian navies in various bases along the Gulf. So the naval force of Iran has been degraded too. So far, there has not been direct confrontation over the straits. The Iranians say it's closed. Central Command, CENTCOM, said it's still open, and yet the tankers are still waiting. So I think in the next day or two, possibly we'll see some activities in this area.
All right, of course, we'll have to, again, wait and see. If everything's happening just every minute, it seems like a different development happens. But, of course, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast and analyzing everything for us. Of course, so simply for us. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.